This was a fantastic chapter, a 9 out of 10 if there ever was one. I think it's only like 15 pages, and there is so much to talk about coming from out of this chapter. But in this video, we're only going to be talking about one thing primarily, and that is the Valley of the Gods, aka God Valley.
Oh, I'm excited, man. We've been waiting for this for 4 years, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? We learned about this back in chapter 950, which was 4 years ago.
I remember I was sitting in my room. It was dark. Because at that time the spoilers came out really late, so I was like,
You were staying up for it?
I was going crazy like 3 a.m. I was like a what? Fiend. Wait, rocks and battling. Garp and Roger, they teamed up. Oh my god.
Yeah, just waking up the neighbors over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. God's Valley is crazy. And this chapter, we learn like more about it. At first, people were theorizing like, why is it named the Valley of the Gods? Like, what happened there? Is it a celestial dragon hangout? And it was partially right. It is a celestial dragon hangout. But the name of God's Valley doesn't even refer to the celestial dragons. They're just named that. I still feel like there might be some reasoning behind it. Like, you don't just call yourself God's Valley, right?
No. So that is really interesting because I thought that originally too, as the rest of us did, because God is only associated usually with the celestial dragons, because the good guys don't usually call themselves freaking God. And also, the dialogue that we get, this place which has the audacity to name itself the Valley of God possesses ample natural resources. So that implies that they had nothing to do with that. This was like the people. So
it's like going to Nami's hometown and they call themselves gods, right? It's like, why? Like, why'd you guys name yourself that?
God Village.
Yeah, it's God's Village here. I think it could be the resources they were talking about, the natural resources. I'm not calling it a quits just yet. I still think there is a deeper reason why the people did it. But hey, if the king was going to tell us why they're called God's Valley, he can't because he's dead. Garling kills him, slays him.
Oh, Garling. We're going to get into him.
The last 2 chapters of One Piece have been absolutely amazing. But you know what else has been amazing, Zonin? The sponsor of today's video, Into the AM. Throughout this video and many previous videos, you may notice that I often sport their clothing. Today, I'm actually wearing their Planet Saturn shirt, which I think fits perfectly with what's been going on in the story of One Piece. I'm not joking when I say this, but once I bought a couple Into the AM shirts, they have been in my rotation weekly. They just feel that good to wear. Outside of graphic tees though, they even have hoodies and sweatshirts, which I highly recommend. You can tell that every shirt that Into the AM sends out is of high quality. And this might be strange to hear because I usually don't compliment companies on their logo, but I actually really like Into the AM's branding. It has a sleek and minimalistic design, which I think just works really well with everyday wear. With all that being said though, Into the AM has sponsored this video so that you guys can grab 10% off at checkout by using the link down below or with my discount code SYV. No matter what you get from Into the AM, just know that you are in store for a high quality shirt. So again, if you want to grab a nice discount from their shop, use the link down below or use my discount code SYV. And thank you again to Into the AM for sponsoring this video.
Just looking at the geography of God Valley is pretty interesting, right? I mean, it is just a gigantic, I guess you could say valley. So technically that's a valley, but it's like 2 mountains standing next to each other.
It's like 2 mountains slashed in half.
So it makes me think, multiple things. First of all, this could have been Joy Boy doing some crazy punch and he split it. Or there was some crazy slash attack that split it. Or there was a tree growing out of that and the tree got moved. Possesses ample natural resources. There's so many interesting things, so many interesting possibilities for why that is the way that is. I'm positive that's not a natural formation. This is Oda.
Rocks don't grow like that, believe it or not. I heard a crazy theory the other day that the reason why this is called God's Valley and the reason why this mountain has that slash in the middle is because it was done by none other than Sword God Ryuma.
Okay, so this is like one of the craziest feats. Like only the strongest of the strong would be able to do something like this. So if it's a punch, it would have to be Nika. I don't think this was Garp because I don't think Garp was even here yet when we saw it. If it's not Nika, then it has to be Ryuma because it could be a slash. Like the punch, maybe a little too clean to split it that way, but a slash, definitely.
And man, this culling game, dude. What do you think about it? What did you think of when you first read those words? Like, hey, every 3 years we just go around and destroy an island and its natives.
The first thing I thought of was the movie Surviving the Game with Ice-T from like the 90s, where he essentially participates in that movie. Like, rich guys, celestial dragons, find this homeless dude, Ice-T, take him to this nice remote place in the woods, and they're like, all right, now go run. We're going to go hunt you because we're crazy rich sociopaths. And I was like, oh my God, Oda probably loves that movie.
This is Ice-T.
That's what this is.
No, I love that. I haven't watched that movie in so long. Surviving the Game.
I'm surprised you saw it. Yeah.
No, yeah. I love survival game kind of movies like that. Like little battle royales. It's good.
We're going to get it with this flashback of God's Valley.
Oh, 100%. So with every tournament, with every culling game, survival game, there's always a prize at the end of it. And with that Celestial Dragon, we have 6 treasure boxes right behind him. Do you have any idea what they could be?
All mythical Zoan fruits.
All mythical Zoans. Whoa, I was giving it like, some leeway. I said, you know what? I'm saying 6 devil fruits. Maybe mythicals because it is God's Valley, but maybe some normal ones, right? I was like, maybe we see Kuma's fruit here. Maybe we see Ivankov's fruit here.
I'm assuming that also this is one of the cases or the chest that Baby Shanks was put into.
He was Shanks somehow ends up in one of these boxes. I don't think he's supposed to be a prize. I think he might have just walked into the box and like tossed the fruit out or something. Or maybe, like you said, Kaido's devil fruit is here. Big Mom takes Kaido's devil fruit out of the box, gives it to Kaido, and then Baby Shanks just somehow walks into the box. Just something absolutely crazy like that. Just a good coincidence, might I say.
I don't know if it was Big Mom that put him in there. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a possibility that Rox stole one of these devil fruits that were in one of these boxes, possibly. And that's how Blackbeard possibly got his mythical Zoan, if he does have one. But I just think it would be funny if like Rox took out the fruit and then just put Shanks in there. I don't know why.
That would be funny.
It would be a nice little connecting factor, because obviously Blackbeard and Shanks are connected, and so I thought that would be cool, but we'll see.
Honestly, I would be fine if one of these fruits were the Yami Yami. Like maybe that's why Rox came here. He's like, hey, like I heard you guys have the Yami Yami no Mi. I always wanted that. And that's why Blackbeard years later wanted that same fruit as well. He's trying to pick up the pieces where Rox left off, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. I always used to think that Blackbeard went after that because of, I don't know, some information that Rox left behind. I mean, it's even possible that Rox had that fruit himself.
Oh, yeah. And then he's just like, hey, let's go here and get more crazy devil fruits, which makes sense. And it draws the perfect parallel to Blackbeard and Shanks, because Shanks' crew, to our knowledge, has no devil fruits. Blackbeard, all about devil fruits. And I feel like Rox and Roger could have been the same way, where, Roger, so far, no devil fruits. Rox, on the other hand, he already has Big Mom. Kaido eventually gets one. Shiki has one. Some other characters like Stussy has one. So maybe that's why he was coming here. Maybe he wanted to get more devil fruits in his arsenal, which is also crazy because it's like, how did he know about God's Valley? Is this posted in the newspaper? Like, hey guys, by the way, we're killing all these people. Haha. Like, this is some good knowledge here, right? Like, dang, he's got some intel.
Oh, he does. And that intel for sure is what I think leads to the God Valley incident. And I think we have all of the pieces here, or most of them, and it's that they came after the devil fruits because they somehow found out that they were there. And I guess that's what it was about. Now, why did Roger show up? I guess maybe he got the same information and they kind of converged.
I like to imagine that Roger came here just to save the people. Like, I don't feel like he was maybe here for the devil. Maybe he was even chasing Rox. Maybe Roger was just straight up chasing Rox this entire time. And that's why he was like, yeah, I gotta come here and I gotta like stop these dudes. And then he gets here and he's like, wait, I came here to stop Rox, but also the Celestial Dragons are having a game. I can't save both people. I have to pick a side. And he just chose to side with Garp and the Celestials for this one scenario, right? Every now and then, even the best person out there has to team up with their enemies to take down a common threat. And maybe that's what Rox was, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? Like Rox being worse than a Celestial Dragon. So much so that Roger felt the need to take him down.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of it is true and how much of it is revisionist history from like the Celestial Dragons. You make him out to be worse than he actually was. I mean, he probably was not a good guy.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious how evil he actually was, because I could see maybe he's the type that was just like indiscriminately murdering people. Like, the Celestial Dragon just wiping them out, just whoever, just because he didn't care. And I guess that's when Roger was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to, help take you down. Also, you mentioned Stussy. Do you think that she has a mythical zone?
I don't think it has to be. It can simply be like a bat fruit, but if Oda wanted to take it a step further, they could do like bat model vampire. But then again, if she does have the mythical vampire fruit, I'd be more disappointed now that she got done in by one finger from Rob Lucci.
Well,
Yeah. I love how you do
I was going to say...
Well,
So Lucci, he can't just take all L's this arc. There has to be an established hierarchy. Yeah, there has to be an established hierarchy, and he has to look somewhat strong. I mean, I guess he is against Zoro by not getting instantly destroyed by him, but we also have to establish where Stussy is, and it protects her a little bit because she was saving Vegapunk. But yeah, I think it's for sure implying that she's like one level below Lucci, which is fine.
That's what I like to hear. You know what? I have the Rob Lucci agenda. I try to stick up for my man whenever he gets pulled down. And I'm glad you're off that boat. Thank you. He still loses to Zoro. He still loses to Luffy, but at least he caught one W here. And, people say it's a dirty blow, but hey, it's a blow we'll take. So, God's Valley, though, going back to Stussy, she's actually going to show up here, more than likely. The original Stussy, Miss Bakens, we're going to get Silverax, Wang Ji, which we've never seen Wang Ji at all, right? We're like, hey, he ruled Hachinosu until Kobe and Blackbeard took him down, so who? We're about to see him here.
Yeah.
Captain John, Shiki, Kaido, Big Mom, like, crazy lineup. Are you expecting some good fights as well, or do you think we're gonna get off screen? Because that's also a possibility. We have so many big players that I really doubt Oda can flesh out each and every one of them. So I feel like they all might get like 1 or 2 panels and that's it, which is sad to say, but
the vibe I'm getting from this is that we're for sure in a flashback right now. It started. We're going to God Valley, and I don't think we're coming out for at least 5 chapters. I'm hoping. That's just the feeling that I'm getting here. And I'm also getting Odin flashback vibes here, meaning that we're probably going to get moments like that. No, it's not going to be a full drawn-out fight, start to finish conclusion, but we are going to get some epic face-offs and some iconic clashes. A couple years ago when we finally got to see Whitebeard and Roger clash, I still get dopamine just reliving that moment in my mind. We're going to get an even better moment soon. And then who's to say what Garling is doing in all of that? Does he clash with Roger? Does he clash with Rocks? Does he just wipe away Kaido and Big Mom like their fodder?
And who knows, man, because Saturn is here as well.
That's
Saturn's
right.
here, man.
Saturn get his hands
He's just
dirty.
chilling in the background. What is he doing here?
In theory, if all hell breaks loose, which it does, I don't see why Saturn wouldn't transform. It seems he's looking for an opportunity to do it.
It's crazy because the more characters we get on the Celestial Dragon side during God's Valley, the more I'm scared to see how Garp is going to be portrayed. Because
you mean like he wasn't the hero of the Marines after all?
Yeah, because when we first learned about God's Valley, everybody's like, well, Garp never talks about it. And then Sengoku's like, yeah, Garp, he does not like what happened there. And at first we were led to believe that it's because of the Celestial Dragons, he had to help them, which can still be the case. Like, I'm not saying that this is 100%, but there is this weird, like, itching idea in the back of my head that says maybe the reason why Garp doesn't like God's Valley is because he's not the real hero of God's Valley, and it's Garling, and it's Saint Saturn, it's Roger. And this could be like an Alabasta situation where Luffy took down Crocodile, but in the newspaper, you read that Smoker is the hero of the Marines and not Luffy, right? And then we have Smoker over here saying, hey, like, I hate this. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not the guy. It was all Luffy and blah, blah, blah. Maybe this is the same thing, but with Garp, where Roger did everything, Garling did everything, but Garp got all the credit. He's now the hero of the Marines, and that's why he doesn't like to talk about it. There is that small idea in the back of my head. I'm not sold on it yet, but it is something I do want to, like, look at while we go forward with this whole chapter.
No, that makes perfect sense. Because, I mean, it has happened like that. And, wow, I didn't even think about that, but that is a possibility. Like, they're just saying, hey, look how great Garp is. He's the man. Meanwhile, it could have been Garling or freaking Saturn in his Zoan form.
I'm scared, man.
And they were like, yeah, obviously need to cover this up. We can't let everybody know that I'm freaking devil and I'm killing people.
Yeah, and then the Marines want a hero too, right? Like it's good PR. That's why I'm scared, because like I love Garp. I don't want him to be portrayed like that, but it could happen, and it could be a hype tool for the Celestial Dragons, which, like I said, I'm very mixed about that one. I'm very mixed. Good and bad. There's good and bad out of that. Oh.
Hey, it's intriguing. And also, just one more thing, to the detractors who say that this is Kuma's flashback and we're not going to see the fights. Well, it was Odin's flashback before, and we did see the fights. So I don't think that really has to do with anything.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're still on God Valley, and until they leave, we're going to see some crazy stuff. I mean, it's very likely that the aftermath of the battle is what allows them to fully escape anyway.
Oh, yeah. And here's one more thing, too, before we end off. You know, the final page, man. We didn't even talk about that final page. We got Ginny, Ivanka, Kuma. Luffy's mom is here.
You can maybe assume, oh, maybe it's Luffy's mother, you know, but then you see it. Come on, it is so unbelievably obvious
Bonnie,
that
bro.
This is Bonnie's
That's
mom.
Bonnie.
Like, if Bonnie wasn't, like, a glutton for food, then I guess you could maybe be confused by this, but she has the qualities of Bonnie, and she's meeting Kuma as a child. Also, this character isn't around anymore, so come on.
Yeah, I mean, I am 95% confident this is Bonnie's mom, but there is 5% I'll toss to the Luffy mom people. But Croco mom, though, 0. I don't want to talk about that one.
No, Croco mom, unfortunately, is not an option anymore.
Dead in the water.
And also, to end the video, I'll say that if Ginny is Luffy's mom, I will consume my own urine.
I am looking forward to it, Zonin. You got to bring back the face cam for that one.
Well, of course.
Last thing, though, Dragon. Do you think he's going to show up here?
I hope so. And if he does show up, he might be wearing that Marine uniform.
Dude, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I want to see Garp and Dragon, father and son duo here. I think that'd be really cool, right?
Bro, you got my brain cooking now. I think that this is the incident that had Dragon turn. Because he was probably Marine, probably with Garp here in training, and then when they came here, they saw the deadly game. They saw them just hacking away at these people like they were nothing, like they were animals. And they were like, oh crap, we've been serving these psychos? And then Dragon's like, yeah, I'm peacing out.
Oh yeah, I feel the exact same way. Like, if Dragon shows up here and he ends up leaving the Marines because of what happens here and joins the Freedom Fighters somewhere down the line, that could be another reason why Garp doesn't want to talk about God's Valley, because not only did he have to help Celestials, but he also lost his son, right? Like, that would be a really unfortunate event. I wouldn't look back kindly on this.
Now we're cooking. You should make the thumbnail of this video, like, young Dragon as a Marine with Garp looking at, like, Garling beheading, like, slaves or something.
And then Dragon's like, huh? Like throwing his hands out. Like, guys, you don't believe this.
Arrow pointing at Dragon, of course, just to point out that, look, that's Dragon, and this is the moment.
You know, a crazy thing about, like, maybe having Dragon here is that, what if we learn what devil fruit he has? Maybe he eats one of the devil fruits in the boxes, like a mythical god Zoan devil fruit.
That's it! That was the other mythical in there.
It could be.
Whatever mythical bird
sick,
gives him wind powers. No,
I love how everybody's like around the notion that it's wind related, which I'm on board, right? Dragon, he comes with the wind. His ship is named the Wind Gamma. Like, come on. It's definitely wind related. Wind adjacent. Luffy has 1,000 Sunny and the guy's the sun god. If Dragon doesn't have a wind devil fruit when his ship is named the Wind Gamma and he's shown with wind every single time, I'd be shocked. I would drink my urine there. That would be mine right there.
I'll drink yours too. But what I'm saying is, like, all of the Logias have essentially been revealed except for that one. Like, that is literally the last missing Logia as far as I know.
I mean, hey, it's bound to happen at this point. It's sooner rather than later. Come on, we're coming up to chapter 1100. Any minute now, we're gonna get that Dragon reveal, man. We're gonna get that Dragon reveal. Now. Yeah, any month after Oda stops taking some breaks.
Wow, this flashback is already gonna be the best flashback in the series, if it does in fact play out, because even us just cooking right there, it might not even be enough. There might even be more that's revealed.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm looking forward to? More so than Rox and Roger. This might sound a little bit blasphemous, but I'm actually looking forward to see what the other God Knights look like. Because they should be here, right? Like, it's a tournament. You know, Garling is, competing. He lost that, 10,000 points. He was talking about the other contestants. There has to be other God Knights on this island. I want to see what designs Oda's cooking, man. I want to see how cool they actually look. I want to see how dangerous they are. And here's the thing, Dragon, the reason why the revolutionaries have waited so long to actually make a move is because Dragon wanted the Holy Knights, or the God Knights, to make their move first. So that must mean that Dragon, at one point in time, saw how powerful these guys are. And what better place to see how powerful they are than here at God's Valley?
Oh, bro, I think that also
where else would you see them?
I think
You
that
don't see
also
them at Walmart.
that Dragon was here back in the day because like he did know about the Holy Knight.
I wouldn't be surprised if we run into the next chapter, to be honest. Maybe a Holy Knight comes after Kuma and the boys here, and then boom, Dragon shows up to save them. You never know. You never know. Anything's possible here. It's the Valley of the Gods. I don't know why it's called it still, but this is it's been a great time, Zonin. Thank you for joining us, man.
Always.
You were awesome as always. If you guys want to check out Zonin, he does spoilers on not just One Piece, but My Hero Academia as well as JJK. Go check him out down below. He's an awesome YouTuber and a good friend of the channel. And yeah,
thank you.
Thank you again, man.
But of course, thank you.
All right, peace out, guys.